Alright guys, so we're finally live. Welcome to the Buzz Hot Button Issues, and we're super psyched. I'm Ashanti Lindsay, and this is my co-host
Aaron Nibs.
And your favorite host, Candy.
She tripping, but I mean,
I'm the favorite.
Welcome to the live, guys. Share the live, share the live, share the live.
The live nice, the live nice. What's going on, people? How's y'all week been?
week was great. I mean, I feel like Thursday flew by really fast. We were just here last week.
And to start the week,
Yes.
we celebrated
Teachers Appreciation Day.
Awesome.
That was on Monday.
Yeah, and I think we're going to be doing that this week. We're going to talk about the teachers and them this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, all our teacher friends, we hope
all
that
the
y'all
teachers
are...
out there.
Yeah.
Good job on what you're doing with the kids right now, especially with the pandemic and the COVID-19.
The pandemic.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all taking the time out of your day to teach the kids.
I mean, I can imagine how, like, why would this be a hot button issue? Why do you think that, teachers right now are, I think it's a hot button issue. I don't know about y'all.
I think it's because of COVID. COVID has highlighted a lot of issues that our teachers have been having and been facing for a while now, but it's brought to the public, or more so in the public, I know, because of COVID. And we're going to use our show to show them some appreciation tonight.
Awesome.
We will. I mean, I'm encouraging everybody that's like on Facebook to do comment, because Aaron has the tablet right here, and he's going to be the...
I'll be the...
We want your interaction.
We need it. We need it.
Let's talk about teachers. If you had a good experience or a bad experience, share it with us.
I mean, let's jump
Shout
right
out
into
your
it.
favorite teachers,
Yeah.
let's do this.
Awesome.
I mean, we're parents. Aaron's not a parent yet, but I'm sure he has teacher friends that,
Of
you know,
course.
you can relay what's been happening.
And we all once were students.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've had some sort of interactions with a teacher.
How's it been? Has your son been back to school physically, or is he homeschooling?
Yes, they've been on days. They've been on days.
What is days? What does that mean?
Basically, he alternates days where he will go, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the following week he goes Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Oh, interesting.
So they alternate that on a weekly
My son is
basis.
full time.
Oh,
He's full time. Only thing is that they close 1:10 and not 1:30.
20-minute difference.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense for them, I guess.
But I mean, how have you guys been finding it? Sending your kids
The
back to
teachers
school?
do try their best, and I can give them the props. I know they still have the pressures of parents, and they also have the pressures of the ministry and the principal, and making sure that they follow protocols, because I think they really go in on them to make sure. I mean, that's our youths, yeah. So, for them to be up to par with the protocols needed to protect ourselves from this disease that's going on right now.
The reality is, I feel teachers have literally touched every life, or almost every life. When you really think about it, teachers have a mammoth task of educating the populace, really. And every person have had some sort of either they have been impacted by a teacher, somebody for them have been impacted by a teacher.
Yeah.
So I feel like they deserve that type of appreciation. I feel like I'm excited about it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they're actually, just like I believe midwives and people that bring life into the world should be paid a lot of money. I know that's a topic they like to talk about.
I'm glad you said that, because if we were to rank professions based on their impact on society.
Yeah.
Can we really say that teachers, or just teachers, are being compensated based on their impact?
Probably not. I think
They're not. I don't think they
underpaid.
are.
You know, I see a lot of my teacher friends complain, and I even see non-friends who are teachers saying, like, you know, we're not getting paid enough. We have to look after your kids. We have to teach them. We've got to mold them.
Bruh, like,
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have any
I have
kids,
one.
right? And I
have one kid.
I can imagine, like, I have friends who've had kids, and I've been around there, and I've seen the stress that they have to deal with their kids. You know, like, tell them to behave, sit down,
I have to deal with people
do
being
this,
mean.
do that. You know what I mean? So I definitely think they should be paid more than what they get paid.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's
And
hard.
at the end of the day, because when you really think about it, our kids, we just have one each.
Yeah.
You know? So when you're dealing with one and you know the stresses that you have
Yeah.
to deal with just one, can you imagine a classroom of those with
Man,
different
I tip anybody's hat off.
personalities?
I shake anybody's hand that can deal with my son, much less
Listen.
my son multiplied by maybe 18 kids in a class or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
But do you guys remember when
That's
you
a
were
lot.
kids? I mean, when you're in school, what it was like?
I was totally opposite from how I am now. I was
Yeah?
totally shy. I didn't like speaking to people.
Guys, are you hearing this?
My friends at
Ashanti
school can
was
say
shy.
this. Like,
Ashanti was shy, guys.
I was not. People talk to me. Boys talk to me. I'm like, oh my god, run away. I never used to talk to boys. I was scared of boys. So it's like, but if they're like cool, like the nerdy guys,
Yeah,
I like
'cause
to
they're not
hang
a
out with
threat,
them.
right? That's why.
Not that they're not a threat. They just don't care. They won't be like, oh my god, you're so cute, or this.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to deal with that awkwardness.
I feel you.
So, you know, in school, I was pretty much, yeah. But anyways, guys, we're going to take a break, a short break. I mean, we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
4, 3, 1.
I'm Kandesi.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Ashanti.
And you're watching The Buzz.
The Buzz Hot Button Issues is sponsored by Townhouse Mega Store.
Gotta go shopping? You have two options. Option 1, you can stop what you're doing. Drive to the store, get stuck in traffic, struggle to find parking, spend time shopping, not find what you're looking for. Wait in line forever, lug heavy bags to your car, and get back home a couple of hours later. And now you're tired. Option 2, download Allmart. Easily browse stores. Order online. Select pickup or delivery. And done. Whew! Which are you choosing?
Welcome back to The Buzz. You are talking with Candy, your favorite host.
She got a brain fart
And
just now.
I mean, this live thing is something new, man. It's new. Anyway, it
Hey
happens,
guys,
it
you know,
happens.
she's
It
a bit
happens, guys. We're
shy.
not perfect,
She's
you know what I
shy,
mean?
guys. Even though I know her friends that know her better.
She ain't-
No,
she's
she
not a
ain't
shy
shy.
person, I
She
know.
ain't shy. She just over here giving you all that.
I'm the
so-
shy one.
Oh my gosh.
This girl lying.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway,
I'm shy.
before the break, we were talking about appreciating our teachers, those who have made an impact on our lives, and we were also looking at some memories from school.
Yeah, like me being the shy one back in
Yeah.
the day. Total opposite.
Well, I was as well. I was very quiet in school.
She was a good girl.
Primary.
She was a good girl.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
because
she
we all
was.
went to the same school.
Primary and secondary school. I was quiet. I mean, I was still no nonsense and a lot. I think a lot of people mistook my quietness for, weakness, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was quiet, but just no nonsense.
I feel
Yeah.
you. I feel you.
So, who was your favorite teacher in school?
Favorite teacher.
Is
All
it
right.
primary? Oh, it's primary and
Primary,
secondary school?
secondary. Let me
Yeah.
think. Let me think. I would say my favorite teacher from primary school, and she's on my Facebook, is Miss Price.
Miss Price, are you
Yeah.
seeing this?
Yeah, Miss Price.
Let's hope
Like,
Miss Price is not watching.
you never know. You never know.
I
Like,
mean, I guess,
to be
but
honest, to be honest, right, I grew up, when I was young, I grew up in England and I moved to Antigua when I was young. And she was the first teacher I had in primary school. You understand? Foundation mix.
Yeah.
right?
I mean, the
And
punishment.
then, you know me, so I would say she was one of my favorite teachers in primary school. And then when I went to secondary school, I would say that my favorite teacher was Pastor Thomas. Like most of your ages, bro.
First of all, what school did you go to?
I went to Antigua Grammar School. Antigua
Oh my
Greater
God.
Shepherd.
Grammarians.
Grammarians. Everyone knows that.
These
We had a
green
great
type
school.
people.
These
Green
people,
type
they too
massive.
much.
You know, they're repping for the boys. You don't know.
I'm
There-
gonna check
There's the
this out.
production man behind the big.
Oh my
video.
God, like
So
stop.
you already know, like Pastor
That's-
Thomas
I'm
was
so
like
done.
one of my favorite teachers. You know, he taught us principles of business, and the fact that he was a pastor as well. He was even though he was a pastor, he was pretty cool and he was pretty proper like in tune with us. So you know, he'd make the witty jokes and the comments with us, and you know, it was a good laugh, man. It was a good laugh.
Can we actually say like who's our least favorite? I mean, producers.
Hey,
Wink, wink.
hey,
No, we're not going to do
Anybody
that.
who went to grammar school between the years of 2000 2005, y'all know who the worst teacher was, but we ain't calling any names.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Calling
before we go into it, we actually have to big up Sweet Chills. She actually sponsored and gave us these lovely trifles. I think it's layered with fruits and rum pudding
Wow.
and cake.
Wow.
And
Can we get zoom in on
Ooh,
this?
Jesus.
Can we get zoom in on this?
Y'all
on
gonna
this
see
lady?
us probably have some kind of orgasm on this show or something. I'm
Let's let
like,
the people see what.
let's see.
let's go. All
Zoom
right.
in on that.
Sweet Chills.
How was it, ladies?
Why are we even trying?
Why-
Well, I'm advertising the brand.
Oh, my goodness.
Stop being a drama queen.
Okay, Sweet Chills,
Yo.
you're doing something wrong
I think she says like,
or right. So, I don't know.
she
but
hitting all the right spots.
this is, mm-mm.
Let me try that.
Okay, the alcohol just hit. It just hit.
It's probably the best spot.
Woo!
Okay, this is rich.
I think if she says $12 if you want the non-alcoholic versions.
But you don't want to try that one.
Wow.
I think you should get the one with the
This
alcohol.
person just convinced everybody to just
I mean,
drink.
what if
alcohol.
you don't drink alcohol? You still recommend it?
Mm-hmm.
Boy.
Sweet Chills, people.
And it's $15 for the alcoholic one.
Where is
Whoa.
Sweet Trills, by the way?
It's in Seaview Farm. I think it's like right after.
On the main road.
If you're coming up from the football field from Factory Roads Way, it's on the left there. There's a sign that says Sweet Chills.
Yeah, go get your own.
Woo!
Boom.
All right, yes, back to
Back to
your do you have a favorite teacher?
In primary and secondary school, I can't say that I did have a favorite teacher, but in state college, I did. I had two actually. Miss Beezer, Miss Carol Beezer, hey, shout out to you, and Mrs. Wade. Those are my two favorite teachers. I didn't have my primary and secondary, especially in secondary school, I was more focused. So my aim was just to get out of school.
Right.
So it was only after when I got to state college when I actually started to enjoy school life, like parties. Because like sports day and stuff, I never used to be a big fan of that kind of things.
And we
so
both went to the same school, guys.
I was never really involved like that. And I'm ashamed to say it now because looking back, you know, I wished I was a part of certain things
Yeah.
and do a lot more. But, yeah, shout out to Miss Beezer and Mrs. Wade.
I'm sure the viewers would like to know what school both of y'all went to.
We went to Austin Secondary
We
School.
went to the best school
What's the acronym?
on the island. Hey! Purple power to the world!
Yes, guys. People think I went to Christ King. They said it's all
You have
that
Christ King
time.
energy. You have Christ King
And I'm like,
energy.
I'm glad you said that.
You have Christ King
I
energy.
want to set
And
the
she has
record
high school
straight.
energy.
Boy, boy.
Let me set the record straight because on numerous occasions I have been told that I look like a high school alumni.
No, listen to the high school system.
Not of this, just letting you know that we went to the best school. High school wasn't it.
That's the big one.
Cut it. I would touch you. But you're too far. You're
I
too
went
far.
to the best school.
For me, I didn't have a favorite teacher in primary school because I remember getting licks, and the fact that we didn't get licks.
Why were you getting licks, Ashanti? You were so quiet and such a nice young lady. You chat
Me
plenty,
no.
right? You chat plenty.
Probably that. Chatting with the
why you get
boy that used to do the little, them books that he used to, turn the pages, and he used to do the stick
flip
man,
book.
the flip books.
Yeah.
Not paying attention in class. And I think in secondary school, same for you, when I hit like fifth form, because I didn't really care about school, chemistry and information technology was my shit. So Mrs. Lewis was my favorite. She was an IT teacher.
So you're a geek?
Yes, I was, guys.
So you're not a geek
I
now?
was like, I'm still a geek, but in culinary, and a sexy one too. I'm sorry, I'm done. And I did all the sciences. I did physics, chemistry, biology.
Wow.
You go, girl.
Yeah, I was doing all that. Not just a pretty face.
She's more than a pretty face, girl.
And then
Make sure you
chemistry,
follow her.
Mr. Burns. I don't know if you remember Mr. Burns. He was my favorite teacher, and I loved chemistry. This is probably why I'm really good at baking, because it's kind of like chemistry.
My chemistry teacher was not.
Yeah.
Wasn't nice.
Aw.
Let's just.
You left before.
Or were you just a naughty student that you didn't get along with that?
No, he was just a boring teacher.
Good
Those
man.
ones.
Yeah. But do you think that teachers are appreciated?
By
You know what?
whom?
Not as much as they should.
By
Not-
whom?
Not as much
Because
as
I
they
feel
should
like
be.
students, when they do love a teacher, they do show appreciation. I can actually say that I've seen that happen.
What did
Because
they
I
do?
know a lot of teachers, my teacher friends now, they would post like they have their children, their babies, and they would post a lot of their students and how supportive they are outside of school as well for these students. So I'm not going to say that they aren't appreciated, but it depends on by whom.
By whom?
So I do see both aspects of it.
But do you think in society teachers are appreciated?
I think teachers are put into this box of this expectation from a lot of people, and we still have to remember that they're humans first, and then they're responsible for teaching and not like something to your children.
I think that box kind of came from back in the day, like from our parents' day to even our time in school, where teachers had this prestige attached to them.
Yeah.
And because of that prestige that was attached, there is a level of expectation that comes where teachers are concerned. The difference is though, and I mean, I think a lot of those good teachers, those role model teachers,
Yeah.
after they had that voluntary separation package, a lot of them, went home.
Yeah.
But I feel like because they have set that bar that high, that responsibility comes and it's now put on the now teachers. The difference is, I think, though, that we've shifted in terms of how we are and how we are as a society. I think the teachers are younger now, so they're a little bit more liberal.
Yeah.
So there are a little shift that's happening
Yeah.
where teachers and how teachers used to operate are concerned.
It's like a new world order. This is shifting,
But
you know.
I think that's a good thing though, like the shift, the dynamic shift where teachers are now younger, like you say, liberal. They think a little bit differently. See, can you remember when you were in school, you just sat there in school, hearing them drone out the same old lesson. Put your hand up if you have a question. That to me.
And I
is
feel
just-
like learning back then was more so this is the book and this is what it is, and you can't question it.
Yeah.
So I feel like, nowadays you can think outside of the box and look at it at different angles. Just like math. Math, it's not about the answer, but there's different
That's how you
ways
get
you
there.
can get to that
Right.
answer.
But do you think like our curriculum, or at least when we were going to school, pushed that narrative of thinking outside the box?
Absolutely not.
Because when you compare, like,
You know better.
When I've spoken to friends from other places, right? It's like their educational system's like, ask the questions, think outside the box, and
Teachers, you can't ask questions.
We have a culture. It's do as I say.
Yeah.
It's not really think for yourself or process information and let me know what
Yeah.
you think. And a lot of times I don't think our students have that expression.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's where rebellion comes from, just because it's not there. And then when you get to adulthood, the expectation is there, okay, you get information, you're an
Yeah.
adult, you should be able to process it. But if you've never taught it, if they were never given that opportunity,
Yeah.
then unless you would have had parents who, you know, provided that balance.
Yeah.
But then if
And it's not there.
It's not.
So there's
especially-
like our generation is pretty.
especially in the Caribbean households, you know.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But I have a question, guys, and this goes out to everybody there. How do you think, as a society, we can show teachers more appreciation for the work that they do?
I know.
guys, comment, let us know. We would like to hear from you. Teachers, let us
Speak
know how
up.
you would like to be appreciated.
Tell us how you want to be loved.
I know one of the ways that they'd want to be loved.
How?
Salary.
Pay rise.
I agree.
What do you think should be a starting salary for a teacher?
I mean, I don't know. I've never been a teacher, but I think, given how their living expenses are today, I think they should at least be able to cover most living expenses, and they could actually live a good life.
I would go as far as to suggest
Let's
Can
hear
be
the
for president,
suggestions.
guys. Can be for president.
at least a $3,000 to $3,500 base
Base
for
salary.
teachers.
Yeah.
I think that a lot is expected of teachers. Teachers are counselors. Teachers are parents. Teachers are hairdressers. Teachers are
do.
Yeah,
doing
they got
a
side
lot.
hustle.
Some of them actually feed the children sometimes.
Exactly.
I
That's
guess.
what I'm saying. That it's a lot because they're dealing with students from different backgrounds.
Yeah.
All kinds of different backgrounds. And another way that I think that we can show them appreciation is providing or making mental wellness workshops or seminars available to these
The teachers as well,
because
yeah.
the students are coming. Some students come with trauma. The teacher
Oh,
is
yeah.
going home with that. You know, teachers, I'm quite sure a lot of our teacher friends have had stories where they've been able to say what they've done for children because of some type of neglect or is just
Yeah.
not available, parents can't afford it. My aunt was a preschool teacher, and I remember growing up that there have been several occasions where she had to bring children home. They were simply not picked up from school, preschool.
Damn.
You know, and trying to get the parent, and when she finally got the parent, it was like after 7 in the night, she was like, oh, she was so surprised that nobody came to pick up the child. And she didn't notice.
That's crazy.
You know, and that is just one example. And she's brought, that's one that I remembered vividly because I just could not understand how
Somebody can
you
take
forget
your own
your
child.
child.
Some people shouldn't be allowed to.
You
Let's not
understand?
even say that.
So
I'm just saying the hot.
I've had that personal experience seeing it from that perspective. I've also had that perspective seeing my peers getting some sort of assistance. You know, I've seen people come into school in uniforms that on Monday morning not iron, cooking oil stains all over. You know, I mean, so there are different types of people that our teachers have to deal with. But
Yeah.
are they prepared to deal with them?
That's the question.
Guys, we're going to take a short break again, and we'll come back.
Boom.
And we're back, and we have been talking about teachers and appreciating teachers. Before the break, we were talking about salary suggestions, and we had a comment.
I mean, we've got 2 comments here talking about salaries. Sokaville Colo Jim said teachers should be getting at least 65K a year.
I
That's-
agree.
That's what, like $5 grand a month, something like that.
A little
I
over.
appreciate that. I appreciate
I
that.
think
That's
I
a
think-
good amount.
But I think because you have certified teachers and you have teachers who are not quite
Yeah.
there yet. So I feel like there should be at least a starting mark for once you get into the profession, and then that 5K per month can be for.
I think it should increase yearly too.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. With years of experience,
Yeah.
like, tell
Yeah,
me.
boy.
I'm
That's
telling
really
you,
happening.
they
I
need to
think
know.
there's salary increases really happening.
I don't know how teachers do it.
You know what I mean? Like,
Girl, I do not know.
I have
Like, I mean, as a parent during COVID lockdown, oh my goodness.
how was that? Yeah, how
My
was
child
that?
was
Both
like-
of you.
I did not like it.
It was horrible.
What would you say was the worst thing about being home on lockdown, being your son's teacher and mother at the same time?
First of all, the fact that he was there all the time was hard. My son's energy is 100 all the time, and I mean, thankfully I wasn't working for a bit, but man, it was really hard. You need a break, so I was with him for about like a month straight, just that, and I'm like,
And you just had
mommy
one.
needs mommy time.
And you just had one.
I don't know how they do this.
How you cope?
Women that have 5 kids and stuff.
I did. I don't like teaching. My son, I don't think I have the patience for it.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I'm.
patience.
It's not for
It's all
me.
about that.
It's-
And it's like you know they can do the work, and then it's like they're trying to test your fate.
Oh, the
They
children
try.
test your gangster all the time, especially for me.
I had one time I wanted to punch. I mean, this sounds bad, right? But kids will make you want to like fight them. Like seriously, like
Fight
they
them?
what? They would test you, and it would stain you in your
I
face,
just run
like
off and just kick them out.
yes. This is what I'm
Theoretically,
saying.
guys,
Hey,
theoretically, guys.
don't judge a parent. All
I'm
parents
judging,
know
I mean,
this.
you know
Like
what I'm saying?
kids,
They do stupid stuff.
yeah, and you're
They
like,
do stuff that makes you question the.
Your sanity.
I don't beat though, so
Oh, so what do you do?
I give the look.
You get in the naughty seat.
No, I give him the look like
Time out.
Bro.
You give him time out.
I cannot.
Sit on the chair. I mean, we've got some more comments here about teachers as well.
What's the comment saying?
We have
Aaron, you gonna get fired from this comment.
Percival says teachers should get in an incremental increase.
Yeah.
And Abigail Valentine says they should be properly evaluated. Some work hard, many do not.
Facts.
Agreed. Agreed. Which is why I said there should be a tiered system because,
Yeah.
you know, I don't think every teacher deserves $5,000. That's just my opinion.
I remember my day, right? I'm not calling any names, but teachers would just come in, sit down,
Yeah, open your book.
open your book, and then just leave. You know what I mean?
But you know what's weird? The average teacher cannot get a mortgage at the bank.
That's wow.
Yeah.
The average teacher cannot go into the bank and get a mortgage.
That's wild.
This is crazy.
This is basic. This,
You-
like
you-
Cannot. It's just, the numbers are just not adding up. And that speaks volumes. These are people who touch lives daily. These are people who are invaluable. And how is it that we don't want to make our teachers' lives easier? They already have it hard.
yeah.
That's a mammoth task that they get up and do daily. I don't know how I could do it. I've heard one of my teacher friends, who is a kindergarten teacher, since school has reopened, she said to me that she does not get breaks because it's kindergartners, and she's like social distance does not exist with,
Doesn't work.
where those children are
Doesn't work.
concerned. They're always playing with their
I
minds.
need to know about that.
Even on the
The
break time,
kindergartners,
she
yeah.
has to use her break to make sure that they are in order, which is all the time.
But I feel like a lockdown for schools is actually coming soon. I believe so.
Yeah,
I feel that's
anticipate that,
actually
yes.
we're gonna
Anticipate
go
that.
back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Candy, you ready?
Yeah. Let's jump back into the comments again. We have Jamel Pell saying teachers are definitely undervalued. They are responsible for shaping our minds from early. As a
Yeah.
result, teachers require continuous training and an increased salary.
Yeah, and add in the what you said about the mental health, because I mean the kindergartner, she probably needs that.
Who
She
wouldn't?
probably
Can
needs
you
that.
imagine about
Who wouldn't?
50 little rugrats?
I mean, you
about
can love
5 years
kids,
old
but then there's like
screaming?
there's a cutoff
Listen.
point. Like
It's I don't know how they do it.
You have to have a lot
I
of
tip
energy.
my
for
hat
kids.
to
And I
them
think the kids,
all the time.
the children and them not understanding. Yes, they know, but that age group, they don't know what's really going on.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's hard for you to tell
all
them,
play.
you can't play.
But you know what? Even saying that, even listening to you say that, it's like you have a little child. All children really know to do is play.
That's what they're
And then when
supposed
you're
to
like,
be doing.
oh, hey, little Timmy, you can't play with Abigail because, coronavirus. And it's like, what is that? Like,
And
me,
kids,
I can't go
they
and
don't
play
know
with my
about
friend.
germs. They just
Well,
be
kids
like
know about
in
germs,
your
but they don't-
space.
they don't take
Take
it
out your
seriously.
candy out your mouth and put it in there. It's like they don't know. They don't know what's that.
Teachers, we appreciate you.
Yeah.
We definitely appreciate, because me, I couldn't do it. And
I
I'm
cannot.
glad that there are other people out there who will take up the task of teaching my son.
I was so happy. Like I was nervous because for me, I'm an entrepreneur. So if I'm sick, my business is affected completely.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm sick, I can't afford to pay for it as well.
Facts.
So I was kind of worried about my son going out there and being exposed. You know how we go.
Mm-hmm.
When Picnic goes to school, they always end up coming back home sick in like the first
Yeah,
month
yeah,
or
yeah,
so,
yeah.
and then you get sick.
And then
No
that's
matter
it.
what,
Tag
That's
you're
it.
it.
you're
That's
it.
it.
You
That's it.
definitely get sick, and I was
That's
like,
it.
damn. Something to worry about. And I mean, thankfully my son's 8 and he understands the whole COVID-19 stuff.
Yeah.
But
Anybody younger than that? Well, the whole thing is lighting up even more. I mean, comments coming in from Zachary Phillips. Speaking about banks, I saw someone comment that teachers work at school for the same hours that the banks are open. So perhaps when teachers enter the bank, they should be allowed priority service, just like police.
that's actually a
and
really
nurses.
good thing. First of all, why did the banks close so early?
That is a good question. I heard it so they can
I guess we'll
compromise.
have that talk when we have the bank show.
Coming soon, we're going to have banks on air.
Right.
So all you little bankers out there, we're going to bring you on live.
Right?
Awesome.
Put y'all on the hot seat.
What do you think about, let's say, personality tests for children before they enter the classroom? Which would kind of give a teacher a heads up of
What
what
a
they
child-
have to deal with
I honestly
in the
think-
classroom.
I honestly think
You know what's
that's
something
a good
amazing?
idea.
My son switched schools, right? And the before I haven't met the teacher personally, but they sent home a form where you had to talk about his likes, his dislikes, his strengths, his weaknesses. And that's the first time I've seen that. And I was like, I was
That's
mad
impressive.
impressed.
That's impressive.
I was so impressed to the point where I'm like, damn, I have to really think about this shit. To then like really give proper details about my child.
But it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It gets them a little snapshot into what they have to deal with for the
Yeah.
rest of the year.
And asking even what your goals are, what's their weaknesses and what your goals are for your children.
I-
And it's not like, oh, I'm just dropping out my son because,
Yeah,
he's
you
going
need
to
go
school.
I also think like the whole school system needs to shift because it's basically they're putting everybody in the same box.
Yeah.
Teach everybody the same way and expecting the same outcome. So you may have people who excel in academia and whereas you have people who excel in creativity.
Yeah,
So now
and
you're
they
trying
work
to
well with
push-
their hands.
Exactly. So you're pushing academia on creative students where maybe the way you teach should be approachable to all
our
kids.
curriculum focuses on academia.
Yeah.
And I think that is where the issue happens. And then
Yeah.
you have a fall off in certain jobs where it's some jobs are extremely saturated
Yeah.
and then there are others where there's shortages.
Yeah.
And I feel like if we started to put focus on the more technical
Yeah.
or practical subjects, then it would kind of alleviate. I mean, plumbers, a highly paid, it's a
Yes.
highly paid profession.
Yes.
And for some reason, it's not a profession that is.
It's pushed
Yeah.
out. I mean, our
But
society.
I was having a thought while you were saying that. I have a lot of teacher friends, and you hear them, stress about going to meetings, and they're not really heard. And they're the ones that are in the classroom with the kids, and they understand, and they probably see what it is. And I feel like they need to put a board where it's not just a board of people just sitting there, but more so really listen to the teachers on what they think they should do to mold the education system.
But we have a parent-teachers association. We also have the
But what are they
teachers
doing, though?
union. And all of that's supposed to be, representing teachers and stuff. What I think.
Say what you want.
Sometimes I feel like the ministry is like a rubber stamp.
Aha, this is my point.
I feel like it does not serve a purpose because there's certain, if you have an issue at the school level that cannot be addressed and you take it to the ministry, I best say, go back home because it's just basically, I'm sorry, we can't do anything about it. The rules are the rules, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it's like a rubber stamp. What is your, where do you go if you have an issue? Let's say I have an issue with the principal at the school, or maybe even a teacher. I go to the principal, I don't get any recourse. I go to the ministry.
Yeah.
If the ministry can't help me, then what?
What do you think the ministry's role should be? That's the question. Because if they're just a rubber stamp right now, what should their role be?
Because right now, from what I understand, and based on the Education Act, all schools have their own governance. Each school can do what they want. So you might have 10 different secondary schools and they all have different rules. I think that's just nonsense.
Okay. So
That's just my opinion. I feel like the ministry should be that umbrella that all schools are governed under, where there's this blanket for everybody, and then it can be tweaked accordingly
to the school.
based on the school.
Yeah.
Not every school do what they feel like. I just find that
that's
it's
just confusion.
nonsense.
That's just like,
And it just opens up ambiguity. There's issues that might happen at one school that you might not have at another school because the rules are different. And if it's working in one, why wouldn't you want it to go to another?
You know, I'm glad you touched on that because I was watching this show where they were talking about, education system and, to fund all schools the same with just the tax, and every school have the same funding and the same opportunities. So when we were going to All Saints School, I remember something that bugged me a lot because, when you just don't know, you just don't know. When it comes down to CXC and choosing our subjects, we were limited. So when you go to State College and then you realize, oh, you guys studied 13 subjects? Like what? We had to drop a lot of subjects because they were pulling teachers from our schools in the countryside and sending them to town.
wow.
We had that issue.
Yeah,
I remember that in State College. I was so annoyed by it. So then they bragging about, oh, we passed this amount of subjects and whatever. I'm like, well, I didn't really have a choice. I had to drop music. I had to drop so many subjects that I really wanted to do. But then you were left with, okay, this is what you have, and that's it. I couldn't even pass physics because we didn't have a physics teacher after a while.
That is another thing, shortages of teachers.
Yep.
And the reason why we have it is not seen as a glamorous profession.
Yeah.
They have people who will appreciate teachers and give teachers their props, but from a societal and systematic point of view, I feel like teachers are treated like crap, and for that reason, people are not interested in getting involved in it. I've been off. As a matter of fact, when I first left school, State College, my mom insisted that I applied for teaching. And I did. I actually applied twice. I never got a call until I think it was like 4 years ago.
What?
And you finished State College.
I know you finished a long
Yeah,
time.
we finished
Yes.
around the same time.
About 4 years ago, I got a phone call. Are you still interested in teaching?
10 years later.
No. So the maybe perhaps if it was, because especially I have friends in all levels. I have the preschool teachers, teacher friends. I have primary school teacher friends, secondary, even at the State College level.
Yeah.
I have friends across all levels. All of them have issues. All of them have complaints, and it's.
Let's take a pin. We're going to take another short break again. I'll be right back.
4, 3, 1.
Hi, I'm Candace. If you want to learn more about our cast and crew, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
The Buzz Hot Button Issues is sponsored by Nigel's Restaurant.
And welcome back. And we're The Buzz, and you're with Aaron, Candy, and Ashanti.
Hey.
And we've been talking about teacher appreciation and, you know, whether or not we think they've been valued or undervalued. Now, let's jump back into the comments. So before the break, we got a comment from Kerry Berry, who was saying that the PMS boys were allowed to go to school with their hair as they please, with more than 2 braids. They can have an afro, etc. So I guess she's talking about the freedom of being able to express yourself when you go to school, as opposed to other schools.
That topic of creativity,
you know what I mean?
when it comes to your
That's a pet peeve of
That's a
mine.
pet peeve.
You know what I mean? Why do you think that's a pet peeve?
I don't understand why they think that, and I mean, this really stretches over into the work world too, where a woman can have an afro, you cannot come to a work because it's not tidy or it's not appropriate. Why does my afro bother you if this is how my hair is?
I find hair so insignificant.
Right?
I do not know how it is.
How does it affect
viewed.
my ability to do your work?
In school. If the teachers can wear their hair and not be affected, how is it a problem?
I don't understand.
You're saying to me, these children are supposed to be this way.
Mm-hmm.
We've said to ourselves, these are individuals. They have their own personalities. They have their own way that they think and so on. Yet, y'all should look alike. Shave your head, you should look alike.
We're black people.
but
we're
you know,
versatile. We're beautiful.
Exactly. Why
have
not,
so
why not
much
allow that you
ideology.
already have a uniform?
Yeah.
And I feel like, okay, it's a uniform, so you're conforming to the uniform,
Right.
and it's the school system.
Yeah.
Why not allow them that freedom of expression?
But that ideology stems from systematic oppression, right? Usually, you know, you got to look a certain way, keep your hair tight, keep your hair, if you're a man, short, women, keep it neat, as they say, no braids, no afros.
Well, why?
It's a
Why?
systematic thing.
If it
it's been
doesn't,
ingrained
if
in
long
our
hair
heads.
doesn't affect a girl, how does it affect a boy?
It's an identity
Man,
thing.
I understand.
If you're a man, in society's eyes, man should have short hair, woman should have long hair, so you can differentiate. That's the ideology.
Anyway,
behind
it's
it.
a stop.
That's
Stop.
It's dumb.
I think it needs to stop.
I think our reproductive parts do that job for us.
Thanks.
Already, we don't need our hair to do it too.
Like, are you going to look at a man and be like, you know what? He looked too girly, so I'm bothered.
Yeah, so let's jump back into the comments. We have a
Yeah, I'm
comment.
helping you too, by the way.
We have a comment from Elijah James. He's saying our education system really needs to be designed to make Antiguans and Barbudans become synonymous with high standard, high performance human resources, but we have to actually be planning.
One thing Antigua don't know what to do.
We don't know about planning.
No.
Planning.
I
We
think
don't like
we
planning.
do plan. It's the execution.
Execution.
Elijah,
is
you
the
Not
problem.
not only that, when it comes to the planning, the relevant people who are supposed to be a part of the
Yeah.
planning, I think a lot of times that's where the issue happens.
Yeah.
Honestly, I just see projects be popping up, and I'm like, who's behind this nonsense? Like, who did this? I'm always asking, wait, I mean, basic, okay, all right, common sense would tell them that this is not going to work. I mean, I've never done project management, but I think that if you use your brain and think, even on a basic level, some things just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And they don't think long term, they think
Short term.
right now.
Let's
2 years,
letting
1 year.
each school set their own rules.
Like, you know, I think there should be a pragmatic approach where you think ahead, like you said, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. So like, what's the goal? What's the end goal? Because if you don't have the idea for the end goal, you're going to keep being stagnant. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be stagnant. You're not going to move forward.
I have a question.
Go for it.
What do you think makes some teachers more memorable than others?
I think when I think about going to school, it's about the approach to education, how they teach you, how they engage you as a student. Because I find like teachers that don't really engage you as a student, those are the ones you're not going to like. You know, the ones that just say, oh, you're just a teacher, you're just a student, you know, I'm going to come in, get my paycheck and leave. But the ones that engage you, encourage you to think past what you've been taught, those are the ones you remember.
For me, the teachers that were impactful met me on my level and saw me as a person and not just you're young and I know more than you, but more so like teach you like real world things. Like as I said, for my chemistry teacher, when he I never forgot this, he's like, chemistry isn't everything. And today, as I am a baker, I met him again, and I was like, you know what I'm doing, and this and that and this and that. And I was like, it's funny. I laugh every time because I'm like, you're right. Chemistry is in everything.
But that is the issue that I think happens a lot where school is concerned, is that we don't make the real life connection.
Yeah.
So sometimes that disconnect. And I think math, because I hear a lot of math people. I don't like math, by the way.
Yeah, same.
But I hear when I speak to people who like math, they will say to you, math is in everything. Math is in everyday life.
Yeah.
Math is in, but when you were in school, they never taught you that. You just need to learn numbers.
Right.
And if you're not good with numbers, then what?
Yeah.
Right. I have a question. Would you guys, well, this can go for everybody. Would you pursue teaching as a profession? Why or why not? If you choose yes or no.
You know what?
No.
You know what? It depends, It depends.
Me just want you to say yes or no. Now. You're bad at me now.
It depends. No, but you see, I can't just say yes or no because it depends on what I'll be teaching. I think I would consider teaching, but would I consider it as my main job? Probably not. Not as a main job. Maybe as a secondary job.
Okay.
I can do sit down and we have a discussion. In that type of setting, perhaps I can be a teacher.
Yeah.
But to go into a classroom to deal with other people's children,
Absolutely.
like a lot of them,
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't do that.
For me, I would totally go into teaching baking, like culinary. I would actually teach that, but not
I mean,
what you said about going into a teaching setting and having to deal with parenting and parents and having to be like, this and this about my child. I'm not about this life. Like, you pay me to do this, and I will teach your child this. And if I don't, do that part, then you can shout at me maybe, but no.
Jumping back into the comments, we have a comment from Mika Goodwin. She's talking about the physical appearance of students. She's saying, difference between a male and a female in school is that a male wears a pant and a female wears a skirt or a jumper. A male with long hair in school doesn't make him a female.
Thank you for that
agree.
comment.
I agree. I mean, your
Mika,
hair,
thanks.
your hair is your crown. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I never understood it. Like, cut your hair, blah blah blah. Like, I used to go to school with guys who had long hair, and in grammar school, the only way you could wear long hair is if you're from the Rastafarian movement.
Yeah.
And if you're Rastafarian, right, you have to wear a tam, right? You either have to have your hair in locks, right, or it has to be in sort of interlocked. Otherwise, if you're sporting long hair and you belong to the Rastafarian faith and you don't have it in those conditions, you're gonna have to cut it off.
But still, like, even with the term, it's allowed. The term is allowed there, but also in secondary school, it's not allowed.
That was a recent thing in grammar
And
school.
funny enough, when I was going to school, we didn't have those issues.
Yeah.
Now they do.
Yeah.
So that tells me that the rules are changing, and the rules are not changing because it's having an adverse effect on the children. It's just the beliefs of a handful of people.
It's about control.
So they
I have
like
a story
this
to
and
tell.
prefer this, so they put a rule for everybody to
have a story
be
to
following.
tell.
And I find that to be nonsense.
So I'm not going to mention school. But when my son was going to the previous school, I went to the first PTA meeting, right? And it's like the whole school's there. You meet all the teachers. This is like the first PTA meeting, and they said that the principal came on, and this is a religious school, by the way. And the first thing they said was, don't let these little girls come with these fancy hairstyles because they're going to just be paying attention to just their looks only. And I'm like, okay. And then I was looking around at other parents to be like, anybody else hearing this nonsense?
A lot of people are plugged into the grid.
Then he went on to saying about the boys. The boys need to have the hair really cut, like low, almost shine. And then it's like, oh, don't come with no doctor notes saying that, they can't do this because it's allergy and whatnot. Because me a big man and me not have no allergies. I've been doing this for years. And I'm just there like, wait.
He's trying to judge everyone on his scale.
I joke here, man.
There was a similar, I saw there was a parent who had called in on one of those talk shows that had complained about something similar, where the son had long hair, was transitioned to secondary school, had a note from the doctor and everything, and the school refused to accept it. They told him he had to cut his hair.
That's funny, because when I was in school, I had this friend in my class, right? both of his parents were Rastafarian, right? And he had long hair. From ever since I've known him, he's had long hair, right? And there came a time where the administration was pressuring him to cut his hair, right? And he was adamant that he's not cutting his hair, he's a Rastafarian. And because of that, that changed the sort of the rules in the school, where if you are going to have long hair, it's only people of the Rastafarian faith, and they're gonna have to extend their hair in dreads or interlock, and you have to wear it down. And that is how, you know, when I went to grammar school, that's how that whole dynamic changed. Before that, if you have long hair, either you better wear a do-rag to keep it pat down, or you have to keep your head shiny.
That's just
It's, I mean, 2020, 21st century.
I have a pretty interesting comment. Vinnie King, thank you, Vinnie. The education system needs a full renovation in many areas, such as a need for a truly differentiated curriculum and schools specializing in developing natural talents and abilities instead of simply bookwork. Today's youths are changing in the culture of school, and the old systematic way of doing things will not suffice anymore. I agree.
I agree. I mean,
if this is done, it's a long one. We will see a big shift in society in Antigua and Barbuda. We will have more athletes and singers, more development in the country. The way things are done now is only preparing you to work the rest of your life in a job, and not so much to develop you as a person. Develop and establish learners create a better and more productive society and workforce. Boom! Boom!
You know that
Vinny,
point.
let me
You
get
know that
coming
point.
we need to put some flames for this
You
one.
know that point. You know that point that Vinny,
y'all give Vinny some love.
You know, Vinny hit the nail on the
Yes.
head. I had this discussion at work many times, and I think the problem is exactly that. Our education system is designed for our children to just be worker bees.
I mean, we're entrepreneurs. We know how important it is to have the skills that we need to go into that world of entrepreneurship. And it's
I
difficult.
actually went in blind.
Right?
And
I think
learned
most people
along
go
the
blind.
way.
Yeah.
But that brings me to another point. Oh, before we move on, let's take a break.
Yeah.
Guys, we'll be back.
Gotta go shopping? You have two options. Option 1. You can stop what you're doing. Drive to the store, get stuck in traffic, struggle to find parking, spend time shopping, not find what you're looking for. Wait in line forever, lug heavy bags to your car, and get back home a couple of hours later. And now you're tired. Option 2. Download Allmart. Easily browse stores. Order online. Select pickup or delivery. And done. Whew. Which are you choosing?
Welcome back to The Buzz, guys. It's all about our teachers. We are showing some love to our teachers.
Yeah.
Happy Teachers Appreciation Day. That related Teachers Day.
You're right. It was Monday.
But it's every day is Teachers Day, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
I feel like they deserve the love every day, and even more an extra tonight.
Yeah.
Of course. Let's jump right back into the comments, guys.
Yes.
We've
Yeah,
got
we're
one
hot
here.
tonight.
I love hearing what our viewers have to say.
We've got some hot ones. So we've got one here from Colin Best, and he says, in modern society, it's usually about what makes the money. Teaching is essential, though, for the growth of a country.
You want to touch Mika?
I agree. And Mika says, the education system needs to focus on getting more teachers, more school equipment, and not focusing on children's hair, shoes, etc. It grinds my gears.
All right,
I agree.
Mika.
Can I throw a story in there?
Yes.
So my son, one morning he's getting ready for school, and he's in his sock drawer, and I see him moving past the socks that I just recently bought for him to go to school. So I asked, what happened to those socks? He's like, his teacher told him not to wear them back again. So I asked, why? You know the socks that have the color on the sole, they might have the gray with the heel, and a piece of that was showing when he sat down and the pants came up over his shoes.
That's
And
crazy,
I'm like, you're telling me that? Me tell oh boy, this wrong put on this stuff.
yeah, man, it's stupidness.
I was so annoyed.
Like, let her call you.
How is that an issue?
Let her
How
buy the
does that
socks.
affect his education? And that is where their focus is on.
Yep.
This goes back to me saying it's more of a paycheck than it is actually.
It's like
empowering
you,
kids.
you teach them to be superficial because you're all about how they
Fixated.
look, and then when they become superficial, you have a problem with it.
Yeah.
If you think about it, our society is pretty superficial.
Yep.
Probably started in school.
Adults. All right.
Anyway, guys, let's talk about your favorite teachers. Drop them down in the comments so we can shout them out. If you have a favorite teacher,
Yeah.
let us know what their names are.
We actually have another like pretty detailed.
And if you have them in Facebook, tag them too. They need to see this.
Who has teachers on Facebook?
I
But
have
anyways,
teachers on Facebook.
Jamal actually said in the comments, another topic, parents need to do a better job with their children's development instead of only relying on the teachers. Oh, let's not even mash that corn.
Keep talking.
A lot of parents rely on report day to know how their child is doing. They then complain, spend time with your child and go over their work. You may not know the subject, but you know right and wrong. You know percentage out of 100. Parents should be able to seek help for their child from early, after lessons. If you can't afford that, seek out a friend that knows a subject that can help your child. I mean, I'm pretty busy all the time. My son knows how it goes, but let me tell y'all, I be mixing cake and he's right there. Who else is going to do it? You know, I'm in the house, so it's just me and him. Sometimes if my mom's there, you know, she'll help out or whatever. She might show up a little bit, but you know, if you don't have that support, at the end of the day, it's you who are responsible for where your child ends up.
I do agree, but we also have parents who simply just don't know how to do it.
That too.
That's true.
That too.
And that burden falls back onto the teachers.
Yeah.
But I feel I think we have, and then just with any profession, you have good teachers, you have bad teachers. I just feel like our teachers just need to be appreciated.
Yeah.
Just all around.
And that's what we're talking
And
about today.
If the teachers are appreciated more and certain things done to show them their appreciation. For example, how many schools have a teacher's lounge? Outside of the staff room, the teachers don't have anywhere to go to just
So isn't the
Breathe
staff
in.
room the
just
same thing?
take a no.
No, it's not. There's
No,
still
it's not.
it works right there.
The staff room
Oh,
is
it's like
kind of
your
like your
office.
work desk.
Yeah.
It's like a work desk. I
Interesting.
feel like they should have at least a lunch room or an area that they
Well,
can just
It's just
go
for
and
them.
Well, I think-
unwind and
I think that goes back to the comments people have made where the system needs to change. So it's not only the teaching directors, but how you treat the teachers, how you approach schooling. It's a whole
I
holistic
have a
approach.
question for you guys.
Sure.
Do you guys remember anything back in the day where a teacher went above and beyond for you? Anybody have a story? I don't think I have any of
guys,
those.
do you have stories?
Yeah, like if a teacher has been
I
like,
believe so, you know.
you do?
But I can't.
Old age, no?
Old age, you know. I think I can vaguely remember situations where you've got a deadline and you go to the teacher and say, look, this is the situation. Like, can I get an extension? And they're like, all right, bring it in.
Yeah, I don't
In a
think I've
couple
ever
of
had
days.
one of those.
How do you show your teacher appreciation? Like your favorite teacher, how did you show them appreciation?
Passing. Like, that's how I did it. I used to try to be the
Just
A
pass,
student.
pass.
And I'd be like, pass.
I gave trouble.
I believe
did
that.
too.
I believe that.
I did.
I believe that.
Mrs. Wade, it was all love.
I believe that.
Okay, Elijah actually commented and said, let's be honest, enough parents were children when they had their child. How can they teach children what they don't know?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
There really should be life skills training for parents on dealing or raising a child in our society. Again, planning. Elijah, you can start a class to do that. When they love it. Projects for you, honey. Projects for you.
But he does have a valid point,
Yeah, he
because
does.
like I said, there's some parents who just simply can't do it.
Yeah.
They really can't do it. And what do? What if they don't have a support system?
Yeah,
what if
yeah.
you're a single parent? So everybody's situation is really different.
Yeah.
And I think that is one of the reasons why some teachers are so memorable, because they relate to you as a person.
Yeah.
Not even a lesson, because sometimes you don't even remember the lessons taught, this actual subject taught. But you remember how that teacher made you feel. You remember what that teacher would have done for you. That teacher made you feel like a person. You know. So those are the things that I think that makes a memorable teacher. Teachers who know how to deal with people and deal with them on their level.
Correct.
So we're gonna wrap up soon, guys. I mean, I feel like this is an interesting topic, and guys, since we're now finally live,
share the live, share the live,
share the
live.
So we have something called the question of the week, and every week we put out a question, and then we'll come back. We'll pull your questions next week. And the question for this week are: how are teachers and students adapting to COVID-19? We want to hear the stories from the teachers out there. So, guys, like, hit us up. I mean, even if you want to send us a message because you don't want them to know who it is, because I know teachers are very particular with, you know, putting themselves out there because they could get scolded. It happens. So guys, just shoot us a message on the Buzz Hot Button Issues page. You guys, if you're not following us on Facebook, you can follow us on Instagram as well. The Buzz, was it Buzz with three Z's?
But the Buzz TV show.
Yeah. So what's highlight of the week? What's the highlight of the week?
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, I can say mine. Like, I went into my creative space and I created a new flavored cheesecake.
Oh, what kind of flavor was it?
Oh, girl.
And why didn't you bring us any?
I think your highlight may be my highlight.
Where's your slice? Where's our slices? No, we're not going to skim over that. Where's the slices, Ashanti?
We need to have because our producers
we need to start. You know, guys, she is a certified
cheesecake fairy.
You know, that's what she calls herself. Baker extraordinaire, right? Up to this day, we have not tasted any of her cakes. I have not tasted any of her cakes.
I have tasted her cakes, but I haven't tasted this new one.
Okay, fine.
Which is my highlight for this week.
Okay.
That I'm going to be tasting Ashanti's new cheesecake
wow.
flavor before the weekend.
How was I not invited? You see how they treat me, guys? They don't love me.
No, that's not what you're not listening.
Oh, you said...
Her new flavor is going to be my highlight for the week. When
I didn't even say what the cheesecake is yet.
Oh, I thought you already made your...
No, I haven't gotten it yet.
Oh,
so today's Thursday, the week ends on Saturday.
Yeah. All right, boss has spoken. It's actually the Devil's Food cheesecake. So it's like a combination of cake and cheesecake together. Like the bottom is the cheesecake and you have that crunchy like crust, and then it's like chocolate ganache frosting in between layers of chocolate cake, like dark red. I'm sorry. Are you guys getting turned on?
The conversation ended. Like, guys,
you see what she does to us.
Follow our Facebook page, the Buzz Hot Button Issues. Follow us on Instagram.
Wait a minute, we have quotes of the week, y'all. Yeah, quotes. I'm just saying.
Oh, we got quotes of the week.
Yes, I got mine.
Wow, my phone's dead.
I went and got. I was sitting there for like an hour trying to find one, and I swear I have a lot of them in my phone. I'm like, but which one will be so impactful tonight? This is so lame.
You're such an idiot.
I know.
I can't think of any.
Okay, so mine is: don't adapt to the energy in the room. Influence the energy in the room.
I like that.
Hey. Aaron.
Sorry. Next week for that.
Aaron was not prepared.
I was not prepared.
Well, I'm not sure if it's quite a quote, but I watched a video in the week, and it was actually a teacher who was giving a talk. And she said, she was talking to a teacher, and a teacher said, I'm not paid for children to like me. I'm paid to teach them.
Oh, wow.
And her response was, children can't learn from people they don't like. So that's my quote.
She shade her. That's all I said. That's all I know. She shade her.
And it is a very valid point,
Yeah.
because unless your student likes you, they're not going to.
And we remember these teachers that we don't like, no?
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
And I just not like them, and I not want to learn.
Don't you think hard love is also good, though?
No.
Hard love is one thing. That's completely different.
When I was in university, we had this teacher. She was Spanish, right? And whenever if you did work and it was crap, she'll tell you it's shit. That's what she'll just tell you. Yeah, it's shit.
I think that's very different.
And it boosts you to do better next time.
There's
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron was like, really? Aaron was like, not really, because I hated her guts.
No, I like her. She was cool.
I wouldn't like a teacher like that.
Anyways, we need to thank our sponsors because we're gonna end up ranting all night, and you guys, everybody, y'all.
Because it's a hot topic. What do you
Hot
expect?
topic.
I mean, I know
Vibes.
we're cute and all that, but I'm pretty sure y'all want to go cuddle up with Boo Thing or whatever tonight, right? But we're gonna thank ACT for making
Shout
this
out to
happen.
Listen,
You
guys.
see
if
how the
you
live
know,
nice?
The live
you guys
nice.
See
only
how the
knew.
live nice?
We've
I
been
see
waiting
that.
2 weeks for us to get on live, and ACT came in on clutch. Like,
Yeah.
we cannot fault them. They are. We should make them premium sponsors, man, because if it wasn't for them, you can hear them applause in the background.
This is so happy
They're
right
happy,
now.
man. You know, I would also like to thank Nigel's, you know,
Not
for
just catering.
And sweet chills.
Sweet chills.
Sweet chills,
For
man.
the sort out.
I can't wait to eat mine. And
you know, we're I'm Ashanti Lindsay.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm your favorite host. And before we go, let's talk about...
We almost forgot about our set. Like,
Our
who makes
set,
our set?
you know,
like,
saying this
oh my god.
This Cameron Pink,
Townhouse
guys.
Nuggets.
Townhouse
supplied it.
gave us
You already
our...
know.
Townhouse has been on board from jump, so
Yeah.
shout out to Townhouse. We like you.
We rate that. Thank
But
you
yeah,
for
guys,
the
we're gonna go eat and eat more of that trifle from Sweet Chills, cause
Cool, you all be trying.
Yeah. So until next week,
yeah,
Ciao.
Thursday at 8:30
we're live
p.m.
again. We're live again.
We will be live.
Live.
So log in. Shit live. Live nice.
Nice.
All right, guys, it's Candy signing out, your favorite host.
Aaron.
Girl, bye. It's Ashanti.
Yeah, she's hating.
Yeah,
It's
she
okay.
hated her. She hated her. Later,
Stay
guys.
buzzing, guys.
Bye.